Alright guys, hey, this is Matt with Owl's Nest Solutions, and one of the things that I am trying to work on and have been working on for some time is a spreadsheet that will track all of my dividends. And so one of the things that I do whenever I start to evaluate which company I want to purchase next is I need some type of screener, and I want to kind of look at how much money I can generate in annual dividends. So I've created this spreadsheet that will help us to determine that. First of all, we start with the amount of money that we want to invest, and I want to look at adding $1,000 of a company. Well, within that, there are several different industries that we can look at, and a couple of my favorite dividend stocks include telecommunications, technology, REITs, pharmaceuticals. There's a whole list of great industries that have companies that pay dividends. In this particular video, I'm going to just compare annual dividends for Verizon. And another great one, although they're having a dividend cut here soon, I'm going to look at AT&T. And so we're going to do $1,000. Whoops, I had that extra zero there. So in this particular thing, I've set up this spreadsheet, and I have it so that it will dynamically calculate. If I invest $1,000 into these companies, it pulls the current price. It tells me how many shares I can buy of each stock, what the dividend is for the year, what the yield is, and then how much I can anticipate in a dividend payment. And so I want to show you how that I've set up this spreadsheet. First of all, we'll start with current price. Google Finance has in Google Sheets, there is a formula so that I can pull the current price for a company. And so I have it set up by pulling the ticker symbol, and it's simply a formula that says equals Google Finance, and then I have in parentheses C3, which is where my symbol is, my ticker symbol is, comma, and then in quotations price, and then it will pull the current price for that stock. Then I just have set up a formula that uses these two features, and so I have B3, which is the amount I'm investing, divided by D3, which is the amount of the stock, and that tells me how many shares I can buy. The next category or column that you see here is the annual dividend. And so that changes. It goes up and down, and I need to find a reliable source for that information. Now, I can always go into a place like, I like Yahoo Finance. It gives you some great graphics. It gives you some great information. And so I could always go here and just identify the data. You know, I'm looking at the dividend and the yield, and so I can see that annually it's $2.56. The yield is 4.89%. I could easily take that and plug that into my formula, and I could do that there. Well, that takes a little extra effort, and quite honestly, I would love for that to just happen dynamically. So I've written a formula to be able to do that, and so here's the formula that I have for that. It's pretty complex and complicated formula, but I'll try to walk you through and identify kind of what's happening here. For starters, I need to go to the website where I want to obtain this information from, and so you can see that I'm at Google Finance, or I'm sorry, Yahoo Finance, and this is where I want to pull this information from. And so one of the ways that we can pull information from a spreadsheet is by importing the HTML and then using the concatenate feature within that cell. And so I'm going to this website. So I have I'm going into two different cells, and so this one formula will split into both of these cells. You can see in this particular cell it just says 4.89%. There is no formula in there. It's all written because I have it splitting into these two cells in this formula. So I have split, and then the index, and then I have the import HTML. I want it to pull that website, and I want it to go specifically from this particular website. Now you'll see that I have the address set up that if I go to finance.yahoo.com/quote/ then I end my quote here and I put comma C3, that will put that ticker symbol VZ at the end of that particular website. And so I just want to show you, if I pull this, copy, paste, and then at the end of that I put VZ, it's going to take me to Yahoo Finance and give me the Verizon Communications ticker page. Okay, and so that's kind of how that concatenate feature works in the formula here. Then I wanted to tell it where specifically on that website that I want to pull the information. So I have it going to the website. I have a comma. I want it to pull a table. Well, if you go back to this page, there are two tables here on the left side. Okay, here's the first table, starting with previous close, and it's got some numbers and open, goes all the way down. This is the first table, and then this is the second table. Well, I'm wanting to use this second table, and then I'm counting lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines down, and I want what is in this second column. So if you go back to my formula, I have it going to table number 2, the 6th line, the second column. And so I am pulling that information from there to show 6 lines down, second column, an annual dividend of $2.56 and a yield of 4.89%. Once I enter that formula, I can hit enter and move along, and then I have written another formula to show our anticipated annual dividend. So I have written in an if-error formula. That way, if I happen to use a company that doesn't pay a dividend, let me just give, for instance, I know Boeing right now, there's no dividend for Boeing. Okay, and so if I were to put in the same information for Boeing, maybe I'm doing research and I don't happen to know that it's a dividend payer, but I like it and I see the numbers, and then if I'm looking specifically to invest dividends, I can look in there and it will give me, instead of showing an error code, it will give me that hyphen just indicating, hey, it doesn't show there. But my formula for this is I do an if error, but then I have the quotation marks for sum, and I've got E3, which is here, 19.11 shares, times F3, which is $2.56 a year, and that's going to give me an annual dividend of $48.91. And so I use this quite a bit to go through and look at stocks. Obviously, this is just kind of surface level, very superficial type of analysis, but it does give me an idea of which companies I want to invest in. I'll go through another couple of these just to give you an example. Coming up here really soon, there's several companies that have ex-dividend dates, and they're in the financial sector, the capital management, loans, small business loans, medium-sized business loans. Glad is one of those companies. Bain Capital, BCSF is one of those companies. AG&C is one of those companies, and Annually Capital is one of those companies. And so let's give them all $1,000 that we can analyze with. Now, sometimes in this formula, and I'm not exactly sure why it does this, but Bain Capital, for instance, it doesn't pull this information. And we can go to Google, the Yahoo Finance, and we can do BCSF and just pull it. And you can see that the information is in this cell, but for some reason, whenever I do it in my Google spreadsheet, it doesn't want to pull that information, and I'm not sure why that happens, or what the issue is with that. But sometimes it just doesn't work. Now you can take these cells and you can expand them out. You can make them more and more cells, and you can compare as many as you want to. The problem that you might run into is that every one of these cells that I have that's dynamically filling, that is going to a certain place, is actually going to a website. So you can think of it like this, that it's currently opening, there's 12 in this. It looks like it's opening 12 different websites right now. So if you can imagine that if you have 20 or 30 or however many tabs, that you're going to 20 or 30 different websites, and that may pose a challenge for you. So I just recommend that you stick to 5 or 10 different stocks that you're working to analyze within this spreadsheet. But overall, I think this could really help you doing some initial analysis. And once you kind of figure out, hey, this is a company that I'm interested in, and you have this surface level, I can anticipate this amount of annual dividends. Then you can dig in and do your own research and decide if that is a company that you want to invest in. So I hope that this tutorial has helped you guys. If it has, give me a like button, subscribe to my channel. Spreadsheets are a lot of fun to build, and you can really utilize them to give you some information in a very quick and easy way.